So last week we did Amber Heard. This week we're gonna find out about Johnny Depp. Let's see what kind of life does he have. Maybe we'll gain some insight on why he ended up with Miss Amber Heard. He's actually the good guy that everyone portrays him to be. Everything will be reviewed today. My name is Tony Lau, and I'm your neighborhood feng shui guy. So first, we're gonna ask our friend Google, what is Johnny's birthday? Okay, here you can see that he was born in June 9th, 1963. Wow, he's turning 59 this year. That means he's eligible to withdraw from his 401k starting next year, if he has one. So let me pull up his chart based on information. Be right back.
One eternity later.
So here's Johnny's chart. We double check the birthday at the top left corner. So he was born in the Gui Mao year, the water rabbit year, the Wu Wu month. Well, it sounds the same in Mandarin, but it's two different words. It sounds a little different in Cantonese. That's why generally I use the Cantonese pronunciation with my Cantonese clients. Gui Mei, that's the date. The same thing, we start with the top layer first. That tells us the outer personality he showed in the public. So you see the shoulder to shoulder here. The same issue as Miss Amber Heard. So basically, shoulder to shoulder tells me that there's a sign of potentially sharing a spouse with someone else in life. So doesn't have to be at the same time, but like down the road, you could like be together and then break up, divorce, whatever the case is, and they marry someone else, so on. So the month column tells you a different thing about Mr. Depp versus Miss Heard. So I mentioned official and power are like a pair. So one is yang, one is yang. Official is more like authoritative, but not in an angry way. It's like a boss, but like not an angry boss. So this is what the side he portrays to the public. Nothing negative on the surface. So that's why you see this good guy Johnny Depp on the surface to the public. That's why people love him for that. However, when we get to the inside, you see quite the opposite personality. That's the side he showed at home to his spouses, and also the court recording we've seen some of it, bits and pieces of it. I mean, usually, even for most celebrity, if you don't get to know him on a deep level, you probably would never see that inner side. So the year column, you see the god of foodery sign. That means like he's a foodie. Nothing about lust at this point, just food, okay? I bet that if there's a nice place with food, he'll take you up on the offer. Okay, so I'm seeing a similar pattern here. You have the partial wealth here and a partial wealth here. Partial wealth is different than positive wealth. That means he's bad with money. Yep, I said it, bad with money. Now, look at how he blow his money. Just millions and millions away. It doesn't seem like a saver type to me. It's not frugal by any means. No chance. No chance he's a frugal person. I mean, unless like someone else manages for him. So that's why I recommend people that makes a lot of money but doesn't have that frugal personality or positive wealth. Let someone else manage your money. At least you have something left, or invest in something that preserve value, like real estate, stock. And that's like an automatic saving for you. People with this kind of personality tend to struggle when the income goes down, but the spending remains the same. Like, which you find similarity between athletes, because they earn a lot in the young ages, then they end up spending most of it, like or all of it, when they grow older. So he does have a power personality down in the inner level. This tells me that he does have a stronger personality at home, more aggressive one than he show in the public. So this is actually good. So not like Amber's case where you got the mix and match in the same layer. His is only in the inner personality. So this tells me he has more control over his temper. On the outside, he can be this authoritative figure, and like when needed, he can use his anger effectively, kind of like a general personality, like a general military officer. General use his authority and then get mad when needed, but not loosely like an angry person, but like controlling, but in a more effective way. That's why he'll make a more effective boss than Miss Amber does, but not necessarily effective, just a more appealing personality when it comes to management. Now let's move on to the day column. This is his relationship. So whatever goes on in this column tells me his relationship preference. So immediately I notice the first layer is power. Power means that he's a traditional alpha male. That means he likes to control a relationship, expect a certain thing, which also tells me one of the reasons why they divorce is that both sides want to have some control in what happens in a relationship. Johnny wants to control like Amber's direction with her career, and she got that hidden controlling aspect in her personality. So these two would end up butt heading in a relationship. Two alpha don't make it right in a relationship. Always end up having issue down the road. The thing about Amber is that she got the gold digging personality at the top. Go watch the last video you haven't seen before. And then the power comes down below. So it's like a layer effect. You don't immediately see it unless you've been with the person long enough. Then you can see that subconscious level of personality. And then for Johnny's case, he's actually on the surface. So immediately you know this is a traditional alpha male. You date him, he's control. He expects a certain thing from the other person. It's either his way or the highway. So you can see a lot of that show up in the media on the way they portray it or misportray it, however it went. But down to the bone, he is a typical traditional alpha male. So what about the subconscious level? So he does have like a partial wealth down below. That means he wouldn't mind spending on his significant other, which explains why he fall for someone like Amber Heard, because he does have that splurging personality. And she likes someone that splurged on her, which is partly why they got together so well in the beginning. And down below, we have a god of cookery too. So part of that tells me he's interested in someone that perform well in bed. I'm gonna leave it at that. Probably why he got along with Miss Amber Heard in the beginning of her marriage. Then it's just kind of fall apart because of like the two power struggle between the two. Because he's dominated by the power stand, and she had that power stand subconsciously. Like she play along in the beginning, then it just kind of fall apart down the road because she got that subconscious power as well. So those two personalities clash. So if your personality is the power, never date another person with the power personality as well for the couple palace. So you want to avoid conflict in the relationship. Make sure both of you in the relationship doesn't have the power stand in the couple palace. Otherwise, conflicts is bound to happen in a relationship. You're gonna be arguing forever. For a slim chance, you could make some relationship work if like marriage counseling, communication, but it does take a lot of work for two people to work out in a relationship if they both have the power stand in the couple palace. So moving on to Mr. Depp's life. It's actually older than Miss Amber. So let's take a look at Mr. Johnny's life. What has happened so far and where is it going to take him from here on? So the main difference between Johnny and Amber is that he's a summerborn and she's a springborn. They follow a similar pattern, but her crashed down slower than Johnny, and he'll rise faster than her on a good cycle. Not a big deal, but just like changes happen slower for Miss Amber than Mr. Johnny. So looking at this, you can see similar pattern than Miss Amber, but it's actually a vast difference if you look at it closer. Even though the element is similar, but it represents different thing in their life. So for Johnny, his life actually entered luck faster than Miss Amber. It entered the first cycle. So he entered the first cycle at age 1. And then 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, 81, 91. Okay. I extend a little bit. Usually I don't reveal that far. But since he's older, we want to cover a little bit more in his life. So 11 to 1, he probably just struggled in school at that time. Probably wasn't a good kid in class. Got in trouble maybe. And then he probably does better in grade school from 11 to 21. I'm not sure he entered college or not. But reading is like early life, it sounds like he moved a lot as a child. So probably he struggled a little bit with that aspect of parenting. And then at age 21, he entered the 20-year wood cycle. Wood is actually not a good set of luck for him because it's actually bad for him. He probably has some idea and how to progress in his career or future because wood is his idea, but it's actually bad for him. So they were like probably bad idea. And that's what being a young adult is about. You kind of start figuring out what you want to do in life, fail, struggle. It's a good thing too. It helps you progress into later in life where you will actually want to be in. It's actually a good thing if you struggle as a kid or young adult, because then you learn to appreciate when the good luck comes later in life. So we actually struggle almost perfectly as a young adult from 21 to 41. Kind of his covering problem, cover part of his prime year. Probably nobody ever heard of Johnny Depp until like the first Pirate of Caribbean movie. I mean, he was part in some smaller movie before the first pirate movie. I would say this is the time where he was exploring. So the first pirate movie was in 2003. I think it's like right before. So kind of aligned pretty well with this chart because the first pirate movie was in 2003. I mean, like he got his fame after his release in 2004. That's when his life began to go up. I mean, like Pirate 1, 2, and 3 pretty much changed his career. So I would say like this is the turning point in his life at age 41 and on. So Earth is still kind of hit or miss. It's not always good. He might have some period that's good, maybe a couple years good within this 10 year from 2004 to 2014, and then maybe have a couple rough year. So according to the data, like he did have some success in the early part of the year. So it's not like in 2012, probably when he has a setback. So it aligns pretty well here. So kind of toward the end of his Earth cycle, his career began to nosedive a little bit. Probably due to the relationship with Miss Hurt. Because I think they got married in this next phase, like in 2015. That's when they got married in 2015. So interesting enough, water is actually good for him. But water is also himself. So whatever success he brings will be up to him. If he doesn't work or work hard at all, he won't make anything in this cycle, even though it's a good luck cycle. But it's entirely up to him. How much work he puts in is how much reward he'll get. If he stop working, nothing will come. I think he might have ran into the trap of like his own success. I mean, there's a chance that another person with better luck than you can ruin your life. But overall, I think luck is on his side. The court case proves it. He might have lost the first one, but overall he won because the luck cycle is 20 years. So it's not ending until 2034. So you see, the marriage kind of lines up with when the luck shifts. So explain that when he shifted his luck, he had a life-changing event. That's the marriage with Miss Hurt. It kind of changed his life forever since then. But it kind of got him out of this mess with this recent trial and the verdict. And he's not even halfway through his luck cycle. It's like 2014, it's still 2022 right now. So the mid cycle is 2024. That means like he get another like 12 years of good luck ahead of him. That means he can make a lot of great things with the rest of 12 years, depending on what he end up doing. Maybe he get back into filming again. But overall, I'm bullish on where his life is heading. It's gonna be great for him, at least for the next 12 years. And then we have a minor setback here. So this is like what I call a gap. So 71, he entered to the Earth cycle. This is what I call a gap in old age. Like there's a chance you survive that. There's also a chance you won't survive it. So it's probably depending on how he take care of his health. I mean, like if he keep doing drugs, maybe he won't make it past 71. Maybe it will. He will clean himself up and take care of his body. This is kind of decision point. It's like if he's gonna carry on onto like 91 beyond. Because like if he take care of himself at 71 to 81, there's a good chance he will live until like 101, longer than Betty White. So let's put it here, chance. I know that medal is good luck for him. That means he's gonna have a good retirement from 81 and beyond. That's my prediction. So he's actually projected to live longer than Miss Amber. So good for him. And that concludes the life of Mr. Johnny Depp. As you can see, both of them have similarity and differences. Like Amber and Johnny, they both struggle early on in life, but they all have like great luck later on in life. I think Johnny struggled more in the early part, but then he get to enjoy a longer cycle of good luck at older age. And I think that's what most people prefer. Like rough childhood is okay, but then make sure the later part in life is good. Once again, if you have any extra question that I did not cover, I think you're interested about Mr. Johnny, I can probably try to answer them in the comment section. I check them on a regular basis. Even for that video that's like a year plus ago, I still answer them. If you enjoy these kind of video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll have more coming up in the future. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I can't believe you're leaving that money on the table. Come on, hit that like button before you go today. I mean, what do you got to lose? While you're at it, might as well subscribe too. Check out these videos. Personally pick them out for you. Stay healthy. I'll see you next time.